It's a gathering place, a fun place, a place to relax, and you can do it yourself with a Hydro Pool. If you're handy around the house, a pool like this is within your reach. Now is the time for a Hydro Pool. Inside and out, only the finest goes into a Hydro Pool. Welcome to the Hydro Pool family. We're pleased that you've chosen a Hydro Pool for your home. Now it's time to learn more about your pool. This video will help you understand the installation process. You can refer to the video to help answer some of the do-it-yourself questions that may come up during the pool's installation. So now it's time for Making a Splash by Hydro Pool.
Hi, and welcome to Making a Splash by Hydro Pools. I'm Jay Baker. Now, during the course of this program, we're going to meet a husband and wife team that want to put an in-ground pool in the backyard of their home. The thing is, they want to make it a do-it-yourself project. So we're going to show you how many of the steps required for an in-ground pool system of this type can be done by handy homeowners. Let's meet them.
I'm very practical. I'm an engineer, and I'm always looking at cost and minimizing cost to a project. And I'm more than happy to put some effort into it if it can save me a significant amount of money. And I think doing it with the do-it-yourself aspect of this pool, I'm able to save quite a bit.
The fact that it comes in a kit doesn't make it different, but it simplifies it, makes it seem more doable to us.
Well, Mark and Jenny, the two of you look like you're really ready to go to work, are you?
We are. Yeah.
Great. Now, you've chosen a pool system that's going to be 16 feet wide by 32 feet long, correct?
Correct.
That's right.
Okay, well, the first thing we need to do is really decide on the location and sort of prep the area. I noticed you're holding a chainsaw. Tell me about that. You're going to take out some trees?
Yeah, we have a few we need to cut down to clear the way.
Okay, great. Well, why don't the two of you go get set up for that, and I'll be right there.
Okay.
All right. Let's take a look at some of the other steps we're going to cover to install this pool system.
First, we need to do an initial layout of the pool. Then we excavate the site where the pool will be constructed. Next, we assemble the wall panels and the steps. Then we form the hopper and main drain area, pour concrete in the hopper area and the footer around the base of the wall system. We install much of the pool's plumbing. Then we finish grading the bottom of the pool and apply the sand-cement mixture that will give us the smooth shape we want for the pool. We install the pool liner and begin filling it with water. While the pool is filling with water, we backfill behind the wall system. Finally, we finish installing the pool's filter system and get ready to swim. There are a number of tools that you will need during the installation process. The list includes an adjustable wrench, large channel lock type pliers, various screwdrivers, a socket set, 25 and 50-foot tape measures, a utility knife, extension cords, string line, a half-inch drill and bits, shovels, both flat and round, trowels, both magnesium and finish types, a carpenter's square and level, a 2 3/4-inch hole saw, a hacksaw, a broom, a tamper, a sledgehammer, hose, duct tape, a laser level with transit rod and detector, a rake, a pickaxe, and marking spray paint. When selecting a site for the pool, make sure its location meets all local rules and regulations. It's also important to make sure that a minimum 10-foot wide opening is available for access to the pool site by large equipment and trucks. Level ground is preferred but not required as a location for the pool. Water drainage away from all sides of the pool is necessary. The pool site should be in a sunny area, and we try to position the long wall with the skimmer facing the prevailing winds.
Well, folks, the trees are gone, the stumps are gone, and obviously for the three of us to try to do every step of this by ourselves would be an enormous undertaking. So we've got some friends that have helped us out. But let me explain what's going on here in your yard. These lines and these stakes are actually the perimeter of your pool. Now, this interior perimeter, which is marked by these stakes, that's actually going to be the blueprint of your swimming pool. And then these orange lines out here with the other stakes, that's going to allow for the overdig.
What's an overdig?
Well, that's a good question, and basically it just means you make the hole bigger than you need it. Okay. We have 2 feet all the way around where our actual pool is going to go so that we can get in there and work, have plenty of room to do what we need to do, and then we'll fill that back in later.
Okay.
So now it's time to tear up your yard. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, let's get out of the way.
All right.
For our project, we have the crew to help us excavate the pool. While some of us can handle this aspect of the project, it can be daunting for most homeowners. So it can be a wise move to seek out the services of a professional excavating company. There are 3 separate stages to the excavation of the pool site: the panel shelf, the shallow end with entry steps, and the deep end.
Well, as you can see, we've taken out all the topsoil and we've excavated the first level of our swimming pool. Now, this is called the panel shelf level. It's very important because it's where we're going to take our wall sections, assemble them together. We're also going to make sure they're level right here.
The panel shelf must be 42 inches below the top of the pool. We have to make sure we don't dig too deep. The panels need undisturbed ground to support them. Also, we have to make sure the panel shelf is level all the way around the excavation. The shallow end also needs to be 42 inches deep. This is the finished grade depth, so the rough depth should be 2 to 3 inches below that level. Again, we have to be sure we don't over-excavate.
Well, Mark, Jenny, what do you think?
It's looking great.
It is.
Yeah. Now that the hole is dug, you can really see how it's going to fit in with the rest of the yard.
Well, you can also see how much space it's going to take up.
That's
right?
true.
You know what this is?
Looks like a reinforcement panel.
It is one of your wall panels, and I wanted to turn it around and show you how it's made. It's a thermoplastic material. It's non-corrosive, has a lifetime warranty, and you can see it's really well made. Let me show you how this fits in.
Okay.
It sits around in the corner.
What about the overdig?
Ah, yes, the 2-foot overdig. So we bring it out to here. Very good. You've been listening in class.
Yes.
Now, this is 42 inches high, and then we're going to put a 2.5-inch coping piece, which will also run all the way around the pool.
Okay.
All right? Now, this is the panel shelf. We have some more digging to do on the deep end, and we also have to dig out a little bit for our stairway. So that's next, okay?
All right.
All right, let's get busy.
In addition to the 4-foot radius corner panels we are using in this pool installation, there are several other types of corners that can be found in our various pool designs. They include 2-foot and 6-inch radius corners, 45-degree corners, reverse radius corners, and even custom angles if required by your pool design. With the shallow end and panel shelf level completed, we make more measurements to determine the actual location of the pool. We set new pins in each corner, run string lines, and use marker paint to highlight the pool's perimeter. This also gives us a better look at the panel shelf area. We mark the pool's break point and the deep end before we begin more excavation. We begin the deep end excavation at what will be the deepest part of the pool. We are careful to not intrude on the deep end's panel shelf area and are also mindful of the deep end corners. After we reach the approximate deep end depth, we can begin creating the slope up to the shallow end. Once the rough excavation work is completed, we finish off the job with more subtle grading.
Well, our hole is dug, and I can tell you from down here it looks a lot deeper than 8 feet. But remember, this is just the rough excavation. We'll have some work to do with hand tools around the sides. But our wall panels are next. We'll get to those when we come back. We're at the home of Mark and Jenny Wendell, where we're in the middle of the installation of their new Inground pool system.
So far, we've selected and cleared the site, laid out the size of the pool, learned about the different parts of the excavation, dug the hole, and made sure that the panel shelf is level. Before we assemble the wall panels, we'll do some pre-assembly.
Well, Jenny, in years past, installing the components on a pool, like the skimmer and the lights, could be very difficult because you had to measure, you had to cut, you had to pre-drill. All of that's been thought out with this system. All we have to do is set them in place. We've got plenty of room to work up here, so let's go ahead and do it, okay?
All right.
Hand me that. That's the skimmer. And I'll hold that into place, and you just drive the screws. Make sure you're lined up back here. Okay, you look good. And let's do one on the other side. Right there.
The skimmer is the place where most of the floating debris, like leaves, will be trapped and removed. It needs to be located on a long wall of the pool just past the point where the bottom of the pool begins to drop off into the deep end. That's called the break point. It's also good to locate it on a side where prevailing wind will help push leaves the right direction. We follow a similar procedure for installing